Welcome. I'm Ernie Goss, research professor, research faculty member here with AIM, that's Applied Information Management of Kansas City. Today I'm here to report on the workforce index for the state of Missouri for the month of July. Now this workforce index, we take online job openings and divide by the number of unemployed. So online job openings divided by the number of unemployed. So if the numerator gets larger, that's online job openings, and that's good. So the workforce index goes up when unemployment goes down as well. So the index spans between 0 and 100. Anything above 50 is growth positive. That's how we gauge the quality of how strong that number is. So it's again, we release this on the second Tuesday of every month. Now this is of course the second Tuesday of August. We're reporting for the month of July. And what does the heck does that number say for Missouri for the month? It went from 54.7, that's in June, to 50.6. Obviously, we're getting real close to growth neutral for Missouri. That's a concern in terms of online job openings relative to the unemployment. The rank, that's Missouri's rank among the 50 states, went from 34 to 33. Now, obviously, that's a good movement from 34 to 33, but you're obviously still in the bottom half of the 50 states. So that's not so good. We'd like to see Missouri improve a bit in terms of reducing unemployment or increase in the online job openings, or in fact both of those. Now, where are the jobs? By the way, I'll call the job market for the online job market for Missouri, I'll call it solid. Healthy would be a little bit of a stretch. So solid, positive, but not as strong as I'd like to see, and certainly not as strong as those seeking jobs would like to see. Now, where are the jobs? Online jobs, sales, number one, not too surprising there. Number two, management. Number three, customer services. So those are just the absolute number of online job openings. Now, when you divide those online job openings by the number of workers already working, what's the percent there? Number one is finance. So finance, number one in the state of Missouri. That's a good thing. There's some real good openings for individuals seeking those jobs. Number two is insurance. Insurance-related jobs showing up big, strong in the state of Missouri. And number three, engineering. And of course, that's a good number. In Missouri, you've got vehicle manufacturing, which is an important industry, which spills over into other industries. You got durable goods. That's heavy manufacturing in the state of Missouri, also a very important industry. There you'll see a tie into engineering. So that was a good report in that regard. But again, we need to see that number increase. I'd like to see it above 60. It's now at 50.6. Obviously not as strong as I'd like to see. Now, we're the top states. If Missouri is not one of the top states, what are? North Dakota, number one. Number one, of course, no surprise there. North Dakota with energy. North Dakota did not go into the recession, has not been in a recession, continues to expand at a record pace. Number two, Pennsylvania. I'm not convinced there. Pennsylvania did not appear on our list last month. I'm a little surprised there. I have to see a couple of months to be convinced that Pennsylvania is one of the top states in terms of workforce indices. South Dakota, number three, not surprising there. We've got a very low number of unemployed. Again, relative to the workforce index, that's looking better. Number four, your neighbor Kansas. Now that's a little surprising, but Kansas is doing very well in terms of agriculture, but also some tied to energy. And finally, aircraft manufacturing, which is a very important industry for Kansas. Number five, Iowa. So that's what we're seeing. Those are the top five states. Now, where do you not want to be? The bottom five states. Now, number 50, Mississippi. They've got, in terms of online job openings to number of unemployed, worst in the nation. Number 49, Maine. There's not good there either. Number 48, and this is not good for me to say, my state I grew up in, Georgia, number 48, not doing very well. Number 47, New York, that's to be expected. New York continues to suffer from, I won't call it a recession. We moved out of the recession in July of 2009, but it doesn't feel like it in New York. California, number 46, are among the bottom 5. That's not doing very well. So, and looking at if in terms of job openings, but also that's also influencing the average pay for a work week. That's still almost flat from this time last year. Year over year, average pay for a work week almost flat in the state of Missouri. Not good. Now, what should you as a consumer, you as a business person, you as a citizen of the U.S. or the global community, what should you watch out for the next month to tell you when things have changed, hopefully for the better, not for the worst? Keep an eye on the retail sales. Those come out August the 13th. That comes out from the Census Bureau. If that number, what number should you watch out for? 5 to 6%. That's a good number. Below 3%, not such a good number. This consumer continues to be too frugal, not buying enough. We'd like to see that expand. That number comes in. Now again, how we judge it? We economists judge it by what the Fed does. In other words, how does the Federal Reserve see this? And if the Federal Reserve sees this economy expanding at a brisk pace, they begin raising interest rates sooner rather than later. So that's the key. Now, again, watch out for that number on August the 13th. Next number, CPI, July CPI, Consumer Price Index, August the 19th. That comes out, again, from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Watch that number. If it gets above 3 to 4%, the Federal Reserve is going to come out and they're going to be telegraphing to us that they're going to be raising interest rates. Of course, that's not such a good thing if you're a borrower. So keep an eye on that. Mortgage rates would be headed higher also. Now look out for the purchasing management indices. That's PMIs. You get those from every state in the U.S. You get the U.S. number, the Chicago number, our Mid-America number. Then you get the number from China. You got European numbers. All those PMIs normally come out on the first business day of the month. That's September the 2nd. That's the day after Labor Day, Monday, September the 1st. So again, September the 2nd for the PMIs. Now, watch out for gold. And that's an odd one to say, but normally we economists don't pay too much attention to gold, but gold captures two elements. It captures prices, that's the CPI, so inflation goes up, the price of gold goes up. Also, international tensions, risk. Now when risks go up, the price of gold goes up. So risk going up, gold prices go up. And so what are we looking at? Argentina. Argentina may default on their bonds, and of course that spills over into the global investment community. Now in the U.S., oddly, it spills over in somewhat of a positive way, except for those investors that hold Argentina bonds. It spills over in this way. It creates uncertainty, creates this fear, creates all this angst, economic angst. And what that means is you want to invest in those things that are more certain. So you buy U.S. bonds. In other words, you lend us, as Argentina worsens, you lend us, U.S., more money. You lend us, you buy our bonds, which brings down the yield even more. And so that benefits us with the lower interest rates. Now, you argue, well, I thought you said, and you have said, that U.S. bonds are not that good of investment. I did say that. I do say it. But they're the healthiest horse in the glue factory. In other words, where else do you put your money? When things get scary, you turn to our bonds. So that's what we're seeing. That's what we're likely to continue to see. Yields are now at 2.5%. They should be much higher than that, much higher. But because of the, again, I use the term economic angst, investors are putting money here. They should be putting into more, I believe, other places to put your money, other places where you can earn a higher yield and lower risk. But I'm an economist, and I'm no Warren Buffett. Let's put it that way. Now, what else to watch out for? High risk trade embargoes. We've got what's going on in Russia, between Russia and Ukraine, and the separatists in the eastern portion of Ukraine. That's a pretty scary situation, and it's scary obviously for those involved, but it's scary for those not involved that are tied to it economically speaking, because what's happening now, we're upping the sanctions, economic sanctions, And what happens is you get retaliation. That would be Russian retaliation. So they place embargoes, trade restrictions on our goods going in and some of their goods going out, whether it's wheat or whatever. And of course, that's anytime you have restrictions on trade, regardless of who does it or for what purpose, it slows the economy down. And we've got to keep an eye on that as Putin expands out potentially into Ukraine and maybe beyond that. That's certainly an issue that goes well beyond anything I have to say or any other economist has to say. So watch out for that. So that's our economic report for the month of July, here the second Tuesday of August. Thank you for joining us here. I'm Ernie Goss with AIM. That's AIM of Kansas City, Applied Information Management. Until we meet again the second Tuesday of September, may your economic cup runneth over, and hope you economically prosper. Hope we all economically prosper. Thank you.